My name's Nigel Wyatt. I'm a finance trainer. I travel around the world delivering finance training programs, mainly on budgeting and forecasting. I'm also the author of this book, The Financial Times Essential Guide to Budgeting and Forecasting. Now, at the moment, I'm not traveling around the world because we're in lockdown with the pandemic. So at the moment, I'm in my home in the United Kingdom and I'm delivering programs online. And we've got a program coming up. So the program which we've got coming up, the online program, seeks to not only cover budgeting and forecasting, but it also seeks to address some of the issues of the moment. So the issue of the moment is the pandemic. The pandemic changes everything. It's affecting every business to a greater or lesser extent. Perhaps we produced a budget last year and we imagined that budget would last us the year, but now it's all completely out of date. We've got to move away from thinking so much about the budget and focus rather more on forecasts and reforecasts. We've got to come up with some new ways of looking at our performance, looking at KPIs which are relevant to now. Perhaps in the past we were focused more or less exclusively on our profits, whereas now the priority has become conserving cash. So things have changed with the pandemic, and we've got to come up with some responses. So the program that we put together is titled World-Class Dynamic Adaptive Planning, Budgeting and Forecasting During and After the Pandemic. It's divided into 4 sessions. So the first session, we're talking about making our budgets more strategy focused. Now that might seem like a strange thing to talk about when we've got all of this change going on. But clearly we've got to deliver our performance but still maintain our competitive advantage. We've got to think about not just how we're going to survive today, but how we're going to win in the future. We'll be talking a little bit about balanced scorecards and KPIs which are relevant to right now. We'll be talking about some ideas of costs and costing, particularly costs that are really important for right now. Our priority might not be to make more profit so much as to conserve our cash. So we really need to think about our costs in a different way. We'll be talking about how we can motivate our teams to deliver in this new world with the pandemic. How we're going to give them financial targets which are going to be meaningful, which they can work with to deliver the performance that we need. We're going to talk about the principles of budgeting because the pandemic won't last forever. We will return to our conventional budgets after it's all over. We'll be talking about how we get our managers to build budgets, how we get our managers to deliver budgets. I think probably one of the most important things will be an extra emphasis around forecasts and reforecasting. And what we've done is we've developed an extra specially relevant section within the program to focus on how we can use forecasts to adapt to the changing situation. As I said earlier, one of our changes will be a move from focus on profits to more of a focus on cash flow. So we're also talking about forecasting our cash flow, particularly our working capital, and in the short term, what are the measures that we can do to try to conserve our cash so that we can survive the pandemic and thrive thereafter. So please come and join me on our forthcoming program. Thank you.